So if you're watching this and you have absolutely no clue who the fuck I am, I'm the man who needs no introduction. I'm the man with no name. It doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter where I come from, who I am, and what I do. What matters is what I have to say. So, um, a big lesson I learned yesterday, which I learned a couple years into my entrepreneurial journey, was that fear seems like it's an inch wide and a mile deep, but in reality, it is a mile wide and an inch deep. And I guess, I guess how I realized that was I was on a call with my mentor with like a lot of other mentees and students or whatever you might want to call them, and my mentor was kind of pushing me into doing something that I was clearly scared to do because of what I've built over the past couple of years within my business. And it was really difficult for me to imagine that I might have to let go of everything that I've built, and I have this attachment to everything that I've built, and it's going to be extremely difficult for me to risk everything that I've built all for a fucking move that I don't even know is going to succeed, right? Now, the thing is, within life, you can't split test life. Every opportunity that arises, there's two kinds of opportunities. There's one where you just walking through the door and now you can't fucking go walk back out of the door. Damn. um, Versus there's a door that you just fucking walk in and walk out of, right? Now it seemed to me like the door was, and there's a couple different analogies, but it seemed to me that the door was something I would just walk in and never walk out of, right? And I was taking a lot of time and I was overthinking to the point where the fear of what could possibly happen if I took the step was consuming me, and I wasn't able to take the step that was required. And what I really learned within those few minutes when my mentor really questioned what I was fearing, and my mentor really questioned in front of everyone and put me on the spot, and a couple other people started to tell me like, yeah man, you fear something that only exists in the imaginary, and it's just it's just your perception of what the fear could possibly, or how the fear could possibly damage everything you've built, that is stopping you from taking the step forward, which is why you're stuck in the same place forever, right? And this is exactly, now this aligns into different analogies. It also aligns with sales. If you're someone that's into sales, you would understand that within, like, if someone hops on a call, or if you're speaking to someone and they really want to buy your product, or they're intrigued or interested within buying your product, there's a sales process you put them through, and by the end of the sales process there's a very important question that puts them very important, like, part of questions, a very important part of the script, or very important part of the structure that you may not follow, which basically is making them question their entire existence if they don't take the step forward, and if they're willing to take the step forward, and if taking the step forward is what they fear because of what could possibly happen, right? What could possibly happen if they don't, right? Now there's two situations. If you're really within a state where you have everything you possibly need, taking the step forward could either be easy or difficult, but it only is within your imagination. Now, everything that I have built within my life is only in the past couple of years. Everything that came before that was always in the hands of God. And I have only been blessed to be in the situation where I have everything I possibly need, where I don't feel like I have the need or the hunger to go out there and chase after things that, you know what, my life wouldn't change all that much fucking chasing after them. And I think a few people within that call really pointed it out, and they were just like, you are so comfortable. Like, you have everything you need. You don't need to spend a single dollar to live because you have everything you need, and you've always had everything you needed. And this is the exact reason why you should take the step forward and conquer your fears, because if you don't do it now, you're not going to be doing, if you don't do it now, you sooner or later you're gonna have to do it, and it would rather be from a place of love and abundance than a place of scarcity and fucking pain, you know. And what I really realized, there was like a 40-year-old lady on that call as well that said, "You're 24 years old and you are afraid of taking risks at this stage in your life. Like, when are you going to take them? Are you going to take a risk when you're when you're 35, when you're 40, like when you have responsibilities, when you have people to look after? No, right?" And I realized that my condition was the perfect condition to take all the risks that I should be taking and that I'm fearful of taking, because it seemed to me that if I were to take the step, I would lose everything that I'm so deeply attached to, that I've built over these couple of years. Um, that would completely damage everything that I've built, right? Whereas, what could really go wrong if I really damage and lose everything that I've built? It could only be a plot point within the story where I lost everything for the fucking 100th time, and in the end, I was able to make I was able to make it out of every time I fucking lost as well. I made it despite of every time I fucking lost. And I realized that it would only be a plot point in my story where it wouldn't even feel like a loss. It would only look like a little bump in the road before the plane fucking takes off to space or whatever, right? And I felt like I needed to see myself from um, a third person perspective, and to see my journey objectively, and see myself going through these ups and downs, and realize that it's really not as bad as you seem. Every time you see something that scares you, that fears you, and you don't take the step forward, your situation never changes. And for me, gladly, if my situation never changes, I'm still comfortable. I have been blessed, and this has nothing to do with what I have done. I am very, I admit that everything that I have has nothing to do with me, and it's all God's blessing. And it always will be, whether I have everything or I don't, right? So every fear that looks like this big crazy monster that stops you from moving forward keeps you stuck in your same situation. Now, the reason I don't want to stay in the same situation is because I grew up knowing that I would become the person that I've always wanted to be. And again, my parents are to thank for that. I have always had everything I needed, and I've always felt abundant with all that I have, where I don't feel the need or the hunger to go out there and chase after something. So I really cannot operate out of a sense of like, hey, I want to go out there and get something. Because if I really wanted to go out there and get something, it's always been, I've been conditioned, or I've been wired in my head to have everything I already to I've been conditioned and wired into already having what I already have, right? So to me, it's like, what else do I fucking need? When I look at a really sexy car going by, like right by me, I don't feel shit, because guess what? I drive a really fucking sexy car. I don't feel shit when I look at any possession. I don't feel anything when I look at all these worldly possessions that basically mean nothing to me. Why would I even do any of the things that I've been wanting to do? It's only because it's never been because of any of the material success. It's never been because of fucking anything that I wanted to achieve. I've always just wanted to be the best version of myself. I've always wanted to kill my past self and elevate to a better version of myself and transcend to a better version of myself, so that I can look myself in the fucking mirror and know that I have tried my absolute best to make myself from yesterday happy, and I can hit my head on the sack and fucking go to sleep without a worry in my head that I'm not enough, or I am, right? And I feel like a lot of people struggle through this, that no matter how much they do, it'll always never be enough, right? And when they do get to the stage where they've done so much and they've built this thing They had like countless amount of nights just fucking breaking their head over. You get comfortable and you get so scared of losing what you've built. And the thing is, we call it fear, but in reality, we're giving that thing power over us. Because the thing you built is just a fucking thing you built. Objectively, it's just something you built, and it doesn't matter if you lose it tomorrow. Because what really you missed out on, and what really you didn't see was building, was the person you're becoming. And if I were to lose, and this is what I realized, if I were to fucking lose everything I have tomorrow, everything I have built tomorrow, my life doesn't fucking change. It's the same. Nothing happens. Worst case, I stay where I am. And I feel like most people need to realize this. We have all been so blessed with every possible fucking thing that we couldn't even think of. Like, is it a coincidence that you were fed every day since the beginning of your life until right now when you're fucking watching this video? Do you really think it's a coincidence that everything that happened in your life was just out of chance? Why is it you that are blessed out of chance, and why are there people out there that don't have that blessing? Like, what do you have that a lot of people don't fucking have, that you don't even think of, that you don't even consider? Like, everything becomes the new norm, and everything becomes standard to you, and you get you almost, if you really build something, you get really attached to it. But if you don't really work for something, you don't get attached to it. Like, I never really worked for all the things that I just had, that I was blessed by God and by my parents to just have the ability to just wander my mind and do whatever I want to do, right? I never really worked for that. I just had that. That is my standard. That is my new norm. If that is my norm, it's not even new. If I speak to anyone from my perspective and from my lens, I don't align with most people because they haven't lived the life that I want to live or that I've been living. So it's really difficult for them to relate to the person I am because I operate from a sense of abundance. And I feel like abundance is more like a state of being than just having everything externally and then feeling it internally. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, if I lose everything that I've built, I would still be in the same position. I would still be as fucking happy as I am. If not, I would be even happier because guess what? If I were to lose everything I've built and my life stays the same, the only thing I'm going to realize is that I was scared of something that I thought was a mile deep and an inch wide, but really, it was the opposite. It was a mile wide and an inch deep. And guess what? My life doesn't fucking change that much. I'm drowning. I'm not even fucking. I can barely feel water around my fucking ankles. You know? So I would feel it would liberate me to the sense where I would have, like, instead of me giving the fear the power of controlling me, I would have the power to control all my fears. And if I would have the power to control all my fears, every fear, as soon as it arises, would crumble at my fucking thought, would crumble at my sight. And I want to thank my mentor for really bringing this up in front of everyone and really putting me on the spot and making me think and asking me questions that I didn't ask myself, because we're so zoomed in within life and we're always looking life through the lens of whatever's going on around us, and we always think in the moment we always think that our lives are either miserable or really fucking happy. But when you zoom out, it's always ups and downs, and there's like a mean line in the middle, which basically is either taking you all the way up or so you're fucking decelerating, or you're staying completely steady. Now, if you want to go all the way up, you want to stabilize your highs and lows, and pull them towards the trajectory of pulling it upwards, which is why I'm recording this video, so I can reinforce everything that I've learned, and remind myself that every time I'm faced with something that seems like a fear, it's not real. It is false evidence appearing real. That's what it is. And it's something that no matter how much I transcend, no matter where I get in life, no matter me having every fucking possible thing and me hitting my goals, me hitting $1 million a month, whatever the goal is for any one of you watching or any one of you thinking that if I were to get to my goal, I would be so much better and I would not have any of these fears. The opposite of fear is having courage. And the only difference between those two things are they're polar opposites. They're the same state, but the rate of vibration is completely different. Now, the rate of vibration when you have fear is on the negative side versus on the complete positive side is courage. Now, courage doesn't mean that fear doesn't exist. You Courage basically means is you act despite of fear. You do not care that fear exists, you act fucking despite or in spite of it. Excuse my French or whatever the fuck it is. The only difference is the rate of vibration. Like water is the same if it was fucking ice. The only difference is the rate of vibration. It's a different state, right? But like intrinsically or whatever the fuck you might want to call it, it's water. That's what it is, right? So if you really, I mean, if and I think I'm only going to be the one that's watching this video, but if you're really looking at something and you're fearing something that seems this big monster to you that really might crumble everything you've built, what the fuck are you attached to? If you were to lose every fucking possible thing you have built today, how much would your life change? You would just lose money? Money's not fucking real. What would you lose? Your business? You are the fucking business. The business crumbles without you. If you were to step out of the business, the entire fucking business would crumble. Do you run the business or does the fucking business run you? So what are you scared of? And why should you be fucking scared of anything? If you let fear control you rather than you controlling the fear, you will crumble at every time fear appears. And I want you to think of it this way. Every time you notice fear, you've got to realize that you're not the person who you want to be because fear doesn't fear you. And as long as you operate from that paradigm and from that lens, you will be unstoppable and you will be able to achieve every fucking possible thing you can imagine because nothing can fucking break you. There's nothing in this entire universe that could break you. Extrapolate this to whatever area of your life that you want to, if you're even watching this, but more than anything, this is a letter to myself, and a lesson to myself, so that when fear arises, I tune my rate of vibration to being someone with courage and acting in spite of it. Because it will always exist, because we're all fucking human. And the winners, or the people that really want to get somewhere, the people that want to transcend themselves rather than transcend their lives externally, would never care if they lose everything externally, which means that they don't have any fear. Because what really matters is the person that they became along the process. The person that they became during the adversity, and realizing that it's all a fucking test to see whether or not you are capable of harnessing the power that you're asking for. Because if you're not, you will always be in a perpetual loop of staying in the same old frequency that gives you the same exact result that you've been wanting to get away from.